Hi, I'm Kimber Lentz, Director of the IMEA, and you're listening to an IMEA podcast. Thank you for joining us for this discussion, where we'll hear from IMEA partner sales-focused solutions on team data, enhancing distribution strategies. Joining us are Dave Halligan, Director of Sales and Account Management, and Jill Santandreu, Director of Professional Services. Dave, I'll go ahead and turn things over to you and Jill.
Thanks, Kimber. We always appreciate the opportunity to get in front of your members, and also appreciate the long-term partnership we've had with the IMEA through the years. For those of you that are not familiar with the Mars product and suite of services, we have a distribution sales analytics platform that's been used in the asset management industry for over 20 years. And part of that suite of services is our data stewardship group that Jill created about 15 years ago. And our newest offering is something that came from a demand from one of our larger clients, which was getting more detailed information on team data or team buying units or partnerships. Different terms are used throughout the industry. But we have had a history of bringing in team data into Mars with our standard data stewardship service. But what we did a few years ago was we developed a separate data set that's focused specifically on teams. And that's what we're going to talk about during today's podcast with the IMEA here. And joining me, as Kimber mentioned, is my colleague, Jill Santandreu, who is our Director of Professional Services, and Jill oversees the Data Stewardship Group, where this data set falls under. So with that slightly short introduction, I'd like to jump right into the Q&A with Jill. So Jill, based on that brief overview that I gave of the team data, can you provide a more detailed overview?
Sure. Thanks, Dave, and I'm glad to be here with you and Kimber today. So the team buying unit data that we're now offering is really what we see these intermediaries as displaying on their own websites and how they see their teams. So what we're doing is we're going directly out to the team intermediary sites to pull this data. We're collecting across approximately 30 intermediaries at this point, where we're pulling in the team name, all of their members, the titles, emails, phone numbers, bios, any social media links that are available. We then match up those team members to our internal master unified database, where we're assigning CRDs for the folks that are registered. So that way we're linking them into the rest of our data. And we've also created a unique staff code for the non-registered folks. So these teams are inclusive of both registered advisors that are trading and buying sales and assets for their fund companies, as well as non-registered folks that are supporting these teams. So we create our own staff code for the non-registered folks. And what this allows us to do is not duplicate anyone that might be supporting more than one team. So this would be an example such as a retirement analyst. We're refreshing this data at least monthly directly from these sites, as well as, because of the nature of our business, we're able to maintain this data through a few different ways. So one other way is through transactional data that we receive. So there could be an example where an advisor is changing firms and we get a new position record for that advisor, but a website may not be updated yet. So we'll know that that advisor, or perhaps the entire team, has moved firms in a more timely manner than the web page may be updated. So we're able to refresh this data in our client sites throughout the month at the very least, or as these updates are changed. And all of this data is really leveraged mostly throughout the organization, but particularly by the sales teams that we support.
Now, Jill, you've always had teams set up and assigned in Mars for our clients, as it's been part of our standard data stewardship offering. Can you explain what is different from the standard team profiles in Mars versus team data or team buying units?
Yeah, so from a sales reporting standpoint, as you mentioned, we've been cleaning trading team, or often referred to as partnership data, for our clients for over 15 years now. So this is business that's coming in through the transfer agent or the intermediary sales and asset feeds with a rep code. And that rep code, we do our research, and it often for the teams will belong to more than one advisor. So what we were finding, and we were getting some frustration from some of the sales folks, is especially in the wirehouse channel, we would see many trading teams that would have overlapping members. So based on the codes that are coming in on these intermediary files, we would set up the trading teams based on the members that were provided by the intermediaries. And then oftentimes there would be different variations of the same set of folks. And so while this information is really critical for sales reporting, and we want to have the most accurate information, it can really look duplicative to the sales team. And for their purpose, what we are really doing with the team data is pulling all of these various trading teams together. And so in this view, sales has all of the integrity of the transactional and asset data intact, while the sales folks can really focus on the relationship level and see the team data at this level with all of their contacts and CRM related data that they would have, while the sales reporting team will still have accurate reporting down at the transaction and asset level data.
And what were the factors that came into play when you wanted to add this as a data source for our clients?
Yeah, so as we've discussed, we've been in the data management business for quite some time. And one of our larger clients came to us with a need for this team data. And knowing our background and success with managing data, there was some data available at the time for teams. However, it didn't really meet their needs in terms of the reliability, the thoroughness, the cost of the data. And they knew that we had all of the building blocks and the registered rep data in place. So it just made sense for us to partner with them to build out what we have today. It was a really collaborative and iterative process, and it's since helped us to fill this gap for other Mars clients as well as non-Mars clients. And this is really kind of the approach that we often take working with our clients to fill needs that they might have and to work collaboratively with them to solve for these needs.
Now, with the team data, how many firms did you initially start with, and how many do you have now?
So when we first started, the focus was really primarily in the wirehouse channel. So when I talked earlier about kind of the trading team data versus this team data, the wirehouses are the ones where we really saw a lot of different rep codes at the trading team level that was making things a little bit more frustrating for sales teams to see what they saw as duplicate data in their system. So that's where we started our focus. And today we've expanded to 28 firms. We have currently over 21,000 teams, and those are comprised of over 110,000 members, which is both the registered and non-registered folks.
And with this data, how is it provided and presented to the end user? Is there a large effort on the client end to manage this data?
So for our Mars clients, the data is viewable at its own entity level for the team. So the team record is going to link together all of those underlying trading teams, partnerships, and individual advisors. So the way that it's presented to our clients is they have a complete view of the book of business that that team has with them, as well as it's going to be married with all of their CRM data. So they can drill into that team level to go and see what underlying trading teams are comprised, what individual advisors. And the great thing is all of the sales and asset reporting is available there. So you can drill in to see, where the business is concentrated for that team, what business individual advisors are bringing as part of that team. And then at that team level, they will have all of their CRM related data, all of the history that they have with the folks there. And there's really no effort for the client to maintain this team data. As I mentioned earlier, we're going out to these intermediary sites on a monthly basis to refresh all of the data. And that's automatically going to be pushed out to our clients as that data becomes available.
Jill, with this, with Unify, which you had mentioned earlier, being the foundation of which some of this was built upon, can you talk about how Unify was developed for our clients and how it created a perfect foundation for the development of the team data?
Yes. So as we mentioned earlier, we've been doing the trade and asset resolution for our clients for about 15 years. When we first started, we were doing data cleaning on a site-by-site basis for each of our clients. And as our data cleaning service grew and our client base grew, that was no longer the most efficient model. So at that time, we created our own internal master database that was more specific to the aliases or the rep codes. So this way, when we were doing data cleaning, it was done across all of our clients. We were maintaining all of the rep code information in one central place to really create efficiencies for sales and asset data. As part of our data cleaning, we've always added CRDs to our reps so that we could manage those in our system. Really, initially, it was to ensure that we didn't have duplicate data. That's one of the things that we work through across all of our clients to ensure we don't have duplicate firms, offices, or reps in the system. And so tracking rep CRDs is one way to do that. However, to manage the rep data, we were kind of in a more reactive mode. So there would be often times that a new trade would come in, and based on that trade is when it would be identified that a rep had moved to a new firm. So in an effort to make sure that we were maintaining the information as quickly as possible for our clients' sales teams so that they would have reliable information when working with their advisors, we created what's now known as our Unify Master Database that has all of the registered rep information. And this is what we are maintaining. We leverage FINRA, IAPD, direct relationships that we have with intermediaries. Again, all of that transactional and asset data that we have to really have the most current information for the firm office and rep profile. And we're pushing those updates on a daily basis to our clients so that they're going to have the most current firm as a firm changes names. There's a lot of firm merges and acquisitions on now, address changes as offices are moving, and then all of the rep information. So as a rep's firm or their address changes, if their name changes, their status, if they're no longer in that business, we're keeping all of that data current and we're pushing it out to our clients on a daily basis.
And Jill, for those firms that may not be in a position to migrate onto the Mars platform, can you talk about how non-Mars clients utilize this team data?
Yes, so we also have an option to receive this team data as a file transmission. So this can be provided as a data extract on a monthly basis to clients, or any frequency that they would want to take in within their system. We can work on secure transmission of this data that they can use within whatever system that they're using. And then we'll talk about some of the things we're working on, but we are looking at trying to build portal access as well, so clients can pull the pieces of data that they would want directly that way as well.
Yeah, it's a good segue into what's the roadmap look like? Do we have any plans on adding or enhancing the current team data set?
Yes, we have a long history of enhancing our data offering. We're always looking for new ways to provide better, enriched, timely data. As we've kind of talked about the evolution of our data offerings, starting from pure data cleaning to be able to push our Unify master database. Many clients use that for prospecting tools that they have available. An example we more recently added to our Unified database is different category lists. So we track Barron's and Financial Times top advisors lists, that we push those features as well out to clients, that they can use that for their marketing and prospecting. On the team data, we're continuing to add new firms to our data set all the time as different websites change and become available for us to pull that data as there's new intermediaries out there, or demand for different intermediaries than what we have today. So that's a list of teams that we're always expanding. And then also the access to that data. So as I just mentioned, one of the next things on our roadmap is to provide portal access to the team data that we're providing to our clients.
Well, thanks, Jill. I know we covered a lot of information in a short amount of time, but in the interest of providing out this knowledge base out to the IMEA members, I think this was a really good introduction to our team data set. And Kimber, what we're most looking forward to is to be able to get this out to our non-Mars clients and out to the asset management industry, because it's an opportunity for us to share some of this data that our clients have been leveraging now for a few years, and now we have the opportunity for those that aren't Mars clients to be able to leverage this on as a subscription service. So we're really excited about that, and are very appreciative of the IMEA providing this opportunity for us to talk about it. And for those members that may want to learn more about it, my contact information is on the IMEA website, and Kimber can provide that as well if needed.
Well, yeah, thank you, Dave and Jill, for your insights. I think, IMEA is always happy to provide information on how firms can better their business, and particularly anything that has to do with the data side of the business. We know is always an opportunity for firms. So we're happy to help you with that effort. Again, thank you, Dave and Jill, for your insights, and to everyone for listening in. Remember to visit IMEAconnect.com to access other IMEA podcasts, event replays, and learn about upcoming meeting and initiatives. Thank you.